How AI differs from traditional search results. My name is Sam. This is part of our AI SEO series, where we're looking at how artificial intelligence and language learning models are impacting SEO and what that means for the future of search and things to be considering and thinking about from an SEO perspective. So in this video, we're going to look at some key differences between how traditional search and AI models work. We'll look at the importance of intent-based searching in AI-driven platforms, and then we'll look briefly at how conversational interfaces are transforming content presentation, as well as how users interact with search engines. So first, how traditional search engines work. If you're watching this, you are probably well aware of this, but traditional search engines, they will index and then rank content based on keywords, metadata, backlinks. Obviously, there's other variables there, but they're going to take the data that they have and then create a list of results based on the search term that someone provides. It relies entirely on algorithms to provide a ranked list of results, and then your output is going to look a list of links with some meta descriptions below that people can click on to then learn more. Compare that to how AI models generate responses. So AI models use NLP, natural language processing, to understand queries contextually. They will provide a direct response, giving you, the exact answer or the intended exact answer, as opposed to a list of links. In my example here, I was asking for the best Italian restaurant, so I did get a list of Italian restaurants there. But I think you understand that it's going to be more conversational as opposed to just a list of links that you would get in a traditional search engine. And then AI models rely on their training data and then on iterative predictions to come up with their responses. Traditional search versus AI search. So traditional search is going to be keyword-based indexing. So it's going to look at keywords, index results based on the information that they have on the websites. It's going to focus on rankings and on link building or backlinks coming back to the site, and it will display a list of results. AI search is going to focus more on a contextual understanding of the search term, of the input from the user. It'll generate a direct answer and summaries as opposed to just a list of links. And then oftentimes it will encourage conversational follow-ups to dive deeper, to get more specific on what the person is asking about. Intent-based searching in AI platforms. So AI focuses on user intent rather than the exact keywords. Now, as Google search is evolving and has evolved over time, this has also gotten much better at this and doesn't focus on just exact keywords. But AI search sort of takes that to a new level. An example, a traditional search, someone might type in the best Italian restaurants in NYC, where AI search, even how they interact with it, is usually going to be different. They could still put best Italian restaurants in NYC, but it's more likely to have a conversational input. So where should I take my family for Italian food in NYC? And then AI will interpret that query and then give a response that's going to be usually a little bit more specific, a little bit more relevant, based off of the query that's being asked. And then again, because people are used to interacting with AI a little bit more conversationally, that will usually lead to a more specific query. Again, there's all sorts of examples of this, and it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just in general, people tend to interact with AI slightly differently than traditional search engines. Why intent matters in AI search. So users can phrase queries conversationally, like we were just talking about. They're going to interact a little bit differently. AI will then adjust responses based off of follow-up questions. So again, if I'm asking for I might ask for the best family restaurant in New York City, it's going to give me a list of results, and then I might ask it another question to kind of narrow down that list, or ask for, who has the best lasagna, or who's a vegetarian option, or things like that. Where in traditional Google search, well, I could go and search for additional things like that, and certainly some people do. I'm more likely to then, get off of the search, click into a result, and then start to kind of work my process on that next page. So it's a different interaction. And then in AI search, results are usually going to be more personalized and contextually relevant because there's a focus on the context of what's being asked, and there will be oftentimes follow-up questions to get more detailed in what we're looking for. Content presentation in traditional search. So again, we had mentioned this, but it displays a list of links and snippets, and then the user has to click on those links to access more detailed information. As an example here, how to make great spaghetti. I get list here, but this isn't helping me make great spaghetti. I have to then click through this to get to a website. Whereas with AI, if I ask the same question, how to make great spaghetti, it's going to provide a summarized, cohesive answer. It's going to give me the exact answer. So right here, like walks through the ingredients. I don't have it in the screenshot here, but then it walks step by step through how I should be making this. And then if I had specific questions on, what if I don't have olive oil? Can I replace it with whatever? It'll then give me options to replace olive oil or whatever it might be. So it's in my opinion, and certainly in a use case like this, I think it is a little bit of a more fun, more helpful interaction. Now where you lose out on this is you don't have brand built into this, so I think that's interesting from a marketing perspective. It's just ChatGPT is just giving me, hey, here's how to make spaghetti. I'm like, well, where is this coming from? And does ChatGPT know how to make spaghetti? And what if I really like this one particular chef? You can probably ask it to specify for a certain style or chef, but that's interesting. It's just a different way that people are searching, and I guess the purpose of this video is to highlight that, like how traditional search and AI search, how people interact with it, the results that people are getting are going to be different, and so we need to be mindful of that as marketers, as people in SEO, and take that into account as we're looking at improving our search presence. The role of conversational interfaces. We've mentioned this, but quickly to go through this, AI encourages ongoing dialogue. Oftentimes, again, it will ask follow-up questions, or even if it doesn't ask follow-up questions, it's very easy to ask a follow-up question, and then it's going to take the previous conversation into account as it's answering you. This is something where with traditional search, you don't really get that. Like I could search the best Italian restaurants in Atlanta, and then I might say, what's the best restaurant for a family in Atlanta for Italian food or something, but that would be completely different searches and they wouldn't be tied together at all. Where in AI search or in AI interactions, it's going to take into account the previous conversation that had happened. And so then just as an example there, again, we're looking at Italian restaurants for families, and then if we ask about vegetarian options, it's already going to know that we're looking for Italian restaurants. If we specify the city, it will already know that. In Google, we would either need to make one really, really long search, or we need to just do it ourselves to narrow down within that search as we're searching in Google. So key takeaways here. Traditional search ranks and lists links, where AI search generates conversational answers. AI is going to prioritize intent and context over just keywords, and content needs to be optimized with this in mind for conversational relevance, being able to provide direct answers. And so those are things to be mindful of when you're looking at AI search and traditional SEO. I will note, like Google, as they're layering in AI overviews, like they are, and I think this will continue to happen, but like I think traditional search is going to, I don't know if it'll go entirely away, but like if I'm searching in Google and I'm getting AI responses, if I can chat directly kind of with the Google bot or Gemini or whatever it is at the time, that will sort of shift traditional search into more AI search related dynamics. So just things to be aware of as you are, again, working on marketing, looking at SEO, looking at search, and as AI continues to develop, as search engines continue to integrate AI into traditional search, these are things to be aware of. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. We are going to continue our AI for SEO series, so stay tuned for that. And you can find the whole series as well as our other series at sambretzman.com. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.